We are continuing our breaking news coverage right now. If you are just joining us, there has been a chemical spill out on Highway 280. This is from the Birmingham Waterworks treatment plant that is on 280. At least at this point, we know roughly 35 to 40 people are being transported. An additional 15 people were transported earlier, having had some symptoms. We understand, though, that all of their symptoms are not life-threatening. We just heard a news conference from Rick Jackson. He is the spokesperson for Birmingham Waterworks.
And Rick was telling us that they use two chemicals to treat the water there, ferric sulfate and sodium hypochlorite, and those two chemicals were mixed, and they were not supposed to be mixed together. And Stephen Quinn, they were talking about that it let off a gas that they're having now to monitor the air quality because of it.
Let's go back out now live to Stephen Quinn. Stephen, you said earlier that they are bringing in a Max bus to try to help transport people to the hospital. What have you found out about that?
Well, and that was what we had been hearing, and that they were working to bring those buses in because obviously with dealing with ambulances, when you're talking about 35 to 40 people, simply not efficient. Those were people, again, who the Waterworks Board had told us, and as well as first responders out here, didn't need to be transported to hospitals but wanted to go as a precaution. Again, you can imagine when you're hearing these kind of chemicals and these names floating around about a place you've been working in, it's something that would be concerning to anyone, and so that I suspect that is why they wanted to be able to go to a local hospital. We did just see a school bus go by. I don't know if that was what that was for, as we see it coming back up the hill here in just a moment. Again, I had said a Max bus, the school bus obviously would do the job as well. As we see that bus looking to pull up here, I suspect that's what that is for. As you see another ambulance coming into this area. This road has been boxed off. As you see him, he's parking right here, a Vestavia Hills school bus, which appears to be exactly for that purpose right here as it comes up this road, which has been closed off to normal traffic. So that it obviously has to be here for this reason, as it's pulling off. And what I suspect to see, we've seen a lot of what appear to be contractors that have been up here. We are told a number of the people who are seeking to be transported are contractors that have been working here at this water treatment facility, one that has been going under some renovations. And again, we've mentioned this chemical spill. We've mentioned the evacuations. I wanted to stress again what Birmingham Waterworks had said, which is that the water is safe to drink. They have multiple treatment facilities. We understand they're essentially picking up the slack for what is happening here off of Highway 280. You see another ambulance that is pulling up there to the front gate of the facility. We've seen less ambulances here over the last 20 minutes to 45 minutes or so since we first arrived on scene. We saw ambulances coming back and forth. That's the first one we've seen kind of come up here in some time now, I'd say. So we are waiting to see if those employees are going to be brought out, those contractors rather, and brought to local hospitals. Birmingham Fire and Rescue, not saying exactly what hospitals. We do know, I understand our colleague Stoney Sharp has been over at UAB Hospital, the Level 1 Trauma Center in downtown Birmingham, and had seen ambulances coming and going from there. We don't know if there are other hospitals. Obviously, you start to get into a triage situation there where you have to bring patients to different hospitals in the area. So that is what we're waiting to see here right now.
Right now that the numbers are climbing at area hospitals. We've just been told 3 patients have arrived at Brookwood Hospital. We know that UAB has many more as well. Let's go now live, if we can, to ABC 3340's Stoney Sharp. He is at UAB Hospital. Stoney, tell us what you're seeing there right now.
Sarah, Wendell, just a few moments ago, 2 more Birmingham Fire and Rescue ambulances arrived here at the ambulance entrance at UAB Hospital. They unloaded those patients, turned their sirens back on, and left immediately, possibly heading back to the scene to pick up more patients. We also know that the hospital may be expecting a Max transit bus with up to 40 patients from that chemical reaction that happened over on Highway 280. So overall, we've seen 5 ambulances arrive so far right here at this entrance. You're looking at 18th Street and 5th Avenue as the ambulance entrance to UAB Hospital. 6 UAB police cruisers are blocking the roadway here, as you see, allowing ambulances to enter safely. We spoke with UAB Media Relations. We asked the big question of how many patients they're treating so far from this chemical reaction. Right now, they have no idea. They're working to get a head count inside the hospital. Firefighters say patients are suffering from respiratory issues. Again, Birmingham Fire not elaborating on those conditions. But again, this is the ambulance entrance to UAB Hospital. 18th Street South and 5th Avenue is currently blocked as the hospital receives more patients from this reaction.
All right, Stoney Sharp reporting live there at UAB Hospital. And again, UAB, just one of many who are going to be affected by this. Again, Brookwood just receiving 3 patients from this Highway 280 area that has been affected by this chemical spill at the Birmingham Waterworks. Now, we do know that this is a large area, as we mentioned. I mean, we're talking about Highway 280 right at lunchtime. It is a very busy corridor, and many roads right now are shut down. And our traffic reporter, Erica Lopez, has been watching these roads closely. Erica, we're talking several cities involved in these road shutdowns because of this.
It's a very big impact on this area right now. Highway 280, we're getting reports from Mountain Brook Police as well as Vestavia Police that in many places it's closed eastbound and westbound. So in both directions right now, it's looking like between Mountain Brook Parkway to Dolly Ridge Road. So again, a pretty massive section of Highway 280. I'm going to break down some of the other areas. So both ways shut down between Shades Creek Parkway and Green Valley Road. Green Valley Road is going to be the exit you'd go to Whole Foods. There's many other shops in that area as well. And then Mountain Brook Police also tweeted out that Shades Crest is closed at Beaumont Drive. Rocky Ridge Road is closed at Morningstar Drive. Highway 280 westbound closed at Dolly Ridge Road as well. And then more sections of Dolly Ridge Road closed off between Morningstar Drive and Shade Crest Road. And that again is in both directions. So giving you your alternates. That's what you need to know if you're getting ready to head out the door in the next couple minutes. You'll want to take 65. You'll want to take 31. Just want to avoid those sections of Highway 280. We've got a couple different live areas here. To the right is going to be near the summit where you can see the delays because just up ahead at Dolly Ridge Road is closed. And then on the left-hand side is going to be Highway 280. I believe coming toward us is that westbound traffic at Mountain Brook Parkway. So just keep that in mind. We're going to continue to have these updates and closures for you throughout the midday show.
Imagine too that those alternate routes might be a little crowded, so people probably need to understand that too and be a little patient there too. We want to remind you we are interrupting an ABC special report. We understand that President Trump's former attorney, Fixer, his right hand, Michael Cohen, is testifying in front of a House Intel committee right now. But we are bringing you this live breaking news of a hazmat situation. 15 people sent to area hospitals. This is a live look right now, right outside that Birmingham water treatment plant where 2 chemicals used to treat water were not supposed to be mixed and somehow were, and they gave off an offset gas that made at least 14 to 15 people sick.
Right now, the information, of course, is still developing. I want to let you know I am on the corner of Shades Crest Road and Beaumont Drive, and you'll see cars here. We can't see it at this moment, cars that are backed up. What officials are doing right here, you'll see them just over there across the street. They have those cones down, that little barrier over there. They are preventing any cars, any vehicles from going past this, because what they're doing right now, any vehicles that are coming from that road, they're not allowing them to go back inside, and that's some of the information that they're providing to some of these drivers out here who are curious. When will they, once they leave this neighborhood here, when will they be able to return? And officials are saying they don't know. All of the information is developing. This at this time is the only, I'm told, section that they have coned off at this time and not allowing people to go back into once they leave out of there. But they're also telling me that they're still getting their plan down because they don't want anyone, once they go near the plant, closer to the plant, they don't want them going back over there until further notice. So of course we will be out here. We've had some people asking when will they know whether or not they can come back, and what we're letting them know as well is that just stay tuned to us. You know, you can follow us on Twitter. We're letting you know once we find out information as well. So we'll be here with you live here in Vestavia Hills. Jennifer Gonsolan, ABC 3340 News.
So Jennifer, they are turning people away even if they're trying to go home?
They are. They're not allowing anyone to go back inside. So, and you can see right here, this officer here is allowing them to come out. And there have been some people who have been asking, hey, once I leave, can I go back inside?
Right.
But they're just not allowing them to go back at this time. And of course, they also are saying that because this area here, we're on the mountain right now, we are not facing any immediate, this is not immediately in the danger zone, so to speak, for lack of a better term, but they are just exercising as many precaution as they can right now, Wendell.
And Jennifer, we want to mention this too. You're there in Vestavia, and the Vestavia Hills City School System just tweeted moments ago that they have provided a bus for emergency medical transport. This is the request of agencies responding to this spill. And this is important. They say that there are no students who have been affected by this, and no students are on the school bus. They're merely providing that transportation for people who live in this area or workers in that area who need to get to a hospital. But again, no students have been affected, and this is certainly some good news right now. Let's talk right now to meteorologist Megan Thomas. Megan, you said that wind speed is actually playing a really good role in this today.
Oh yeah, it is playing a great role in it. If we can go to the weather maps, and I'll show you exactly what we're dealing with. At this point, winds are ultimately calm. Our actual wind speed comes from the airport, which is several miles away from this particular area that is shut off. Winds are sustained at about 3 miles an hour. This is a 1-minute average. We've seen them go from calm to about 3 miles, and ultimately it is not going to be playing a big role in spreading this gas in the area. But where Jennifer Gonsolin is standing, I want you guys to be familiar with this area. I'm pretty familiar with Highway 280 along Shades Crest as well. If you do not know where this is, so if you were to take Shades Crest, you got to go to Shades Crest, or first you make a left or right, whichever way you're coming from off of Highway 280, and what you can do, this is actually around that first curve. You'll take that big curve, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to go up the hill, and once you go up the hill, it is the first street on your left, which is Beaumont Drive, where they are closing off right there. There are sidewalks on that area for people to walk dogs along Shades Crest. So again, if you are in this vicinity, just stay put for at least the next hour or so, or until we tell you to do otherwise. Police on the scene right there, obviously directing traffic to get people off the main road. But again, this is off of Shades Crest and Beaumont Drive, but right next to the Vestavia Hills Country Club. Beaumont Drive actually splits the Vestavia Hills Country Club, and you play golf on either side of the road. So again, this is where this blockage is. But the good news is, I do want to report, is the wind is not going to play a role in this whatsoever. Everything looks very quiet and calm. And we'll go through the wind gust here shortly. This is 3:30, so if this still continues into the afternoon, wind gusts could get up to about 4 to 5 miles an hour. Really not going to be a big factor in this, so this is great news that they can get this under control. And like we've been hearing all morning leading into this midday, the wind not playing a factor. People are going to the hospitals with their conditions, and it doesn't look like it's life-threatening at this point. But again, we've got crews on the scene, and we will keep you updated with the weather if it is going to change, but I do not think it will. And again, winds should be anywhere between, I'd say, calm to up to 5 miles an hour through 3:30.
All right, Megan, thank you. We want to, if you are just joining us right now, we want to explain sort of from the top what's going on. There's been a chemical spill at the Birmingham Water Works plant over on Highway 280. Several communities are affected by this, but several people have been exposed. About 40 people we know of right now have been exposed, and they are experiencing respiratory issues, nausea, vomiting, some of those kind of symptoms. We understand that 2 chemicals that we're not supposed to mix have mixed together, and that has created a hazmat situation outside of the Birmingham Water Works plant. The water is not in jeopardy. If you live in this area, if you work in this area, your water is just fine. That is coming from the Birmingham Water Works. They've got 3 other plants that they are using right now in order to make sure that the water is safe. They've diverted that. You're taking a live look at a couple different areas. The screen on the right side is the Birmingham Water Works area. You can see ambulances there ready to take anybody that is needing a trip to the hospital. On the left, you are seeing, as Megan mentioned, that community just around the Vestavia Hills Country Club. That is a neighborhood, and part of those streets are shut down. There is a shelter in place advised, particularly for people who have respiratory issues. This could be a dangerous situation for them. But again, we know at least 40 people, possibly more, have been transported to many area hospitals. We know UAB has many. Grandview has at least 10 we just heard of. We understand at least 4 of those came in with the supervisor. We understand that they're in stable condition, but they do have some respiratory issues, and we know several have also been sent to Brookwood Hospital, and several roads are shut down. You're taking a live look at Highway 280. This, if you're familiar with this area, this is down in front of Brookwood Mall. And this is an abnormal scene. We typically see lots of traffic right now on Highway 280, and they are having to shut down these roads just to make sure that people are not affected by this.
As you see another one of these ambulances that is coming up here to the scene with lights on in this staging area. There is an outpost for the sheriff's office that is located out here, and that's become an informal staging ground for first responders that are out here right now. As we had mentioned in the last time that we were here, the mood certainly seems calm, especially here at the last 2 or 3 times that we've visited with you guys on air. First responders have been here. We've seen a couple of ambulances, but the presence does not seem as hectic, at least as it was when we first got here around 10 o'clock this morning, and that was about 30 to 40 minutes after we first started hearing the reports about what had happened here. Chemicals coming in contact with each other that the Birmingham Water Works had said are not supposed to and are dangerous when they do so. They say that's going to be part of an investigation that they're going to have about what has happened in the days and weeks to come.
I want to go back now live to ABC 30-40 Stoney Sharp. He is live at UAB Hospital. Stoney, we know you've seen a lot of ambulances come in. Tell us what you're seeing there right now.
Sarah, we've been trying to get a head count here at UAB Hospital of how many patients they're treating, and we just received that information via email. I'm going to read it off live to you. UAB has received at least 15 patients from the 280 chemical spill and is prepared to receive a lot more if necessary. This is a fluid situation, and we will provide updates as we are able. So here at UAB Hospital, they are treating 15 patients. We also know that Grandview Medical Center is treating 10 patients, and Brookwood Hospital has 3 patients from this chemical reaction that happened over on Highway 280. We want to show you the scene here behind me. You see a lot of police cars, UAB police officers blocking the entrance to UAB Hospital's ambulance entrance here, 18th Street South and 5th Avenue. They've been out here for at least 2 hours almost, allowing ambulances to carry patients in and out safely from this chemical reaction spill. The road will be blocked for some time now. Again, we've heard that a possible large bus will be bringing even more patients here. So again, more patients are expected here at UAB Hospital.
Sarah, and I had mentioned to you that Birmingham Fire and Rescue is in the process of staging down. But one last time I wanted to talk to Battalion Chief Sebastian Carrillo about kind of what we're dealing with. Chief, if you could, we had mentioned, I had reported that Highway 280 in the process of reopening. I understand there's some things you want to do real quick before that happens.
Yes, sir. So we're actually in the process now of demobilizing this incident. And as a part of that demobilization process, we want to get some final readings in 5 different locations along Highway 280 just to make sure that those air monitoring readings come back clear. And as soon as we do that, we'll be opening Highway 280.
Any idea how long that process is, what that looks like?
So that it shouldn't be much longer at all. I would imagine in the next 15 to 20 minutes we should be ready to open it.
Obviously, the big concern we've been talking about the houses and that located on the back end of this, and the message that you had been given to people that, hey, if you don't need to be outside, don't go outside. Does that still apply? We're reopening Highway 280. That seems like a good sign.
So at this point, we want to stress that at no time were any of the residents around this area in any danger. The chemical was confined to the building where the spill took place. However, as a precaution, we were telling people to kind of shelter in place. At this point, they're free to exit their homes. This situation is under control, and we're actually sending our units back in service.
We mentioned the hazmat unit. The guys who deal with this kind of stuff all the time are going through decon. Kind of explain what that process is like and what they're having to do right now, having been in there where these chemicals were.
So as part of the demobilization process, we have to clean up all of our equipment, make sure that it's not contaminated with any chemical. That's what they're in the process of doing, rehabbing the personnel down there to make sure that they're okay, and just cleaning up equipment and getting ready for the next call.
Okay. But thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Birmingham Fire and Rescue, they're here with one more update, and time frame there a little bit clearer about Highway 280. He mentioned 15 minutes or so to test the air quality in a few different areas along the highway, but expecting to reopen it soon. And again, certainly some good news if you're watching at home and been hearing about the air quality there, them saying it appears that people are safe. We'd been talking all day about asking people to stay inside if they had to. Fire and Rescue telling us at no point was anyone in any danger. Again, an abundance of caution appears to be the tone that was set throughout the day as Birmingham Fire and Rescue continue to wrap up what is going on here at this facility on Highway 280.